Hey man, I need you to pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. Most guys completely miss this. They walk around blind to the exact moment everything changes. The moment she stops seeing you as just another guy and starts seeing you as someone she can't stop thinking about. See, here's what most men don't understand. Women don't just wake up one day and decide they have feelings for you. It's not random. It's not luck. There's a specific moment, a psychological trigger that flips the switch. Once you know what to look for, you'll never miss it again. Today I'm breaking down the exact moment she starts catching feelings for you. Not the obvious signs, not the things that happen after she's already hooked, but the precise instant when her brain shifts from casual interest to emotional investment. Listen, this isn't theory. This is psychology. This is how attraction actually works at the deepest level. So buckle up, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to recognize when it happens. And more importantly, how to make it happen. Let's dive in. Here's the truth. Most guys think feelings start with physical attraction or good conversation. But that's just the surface level. The real moment she starts catching feelings happens when she shows you her guard coming down, and you handle it perfectly. Picture this. You're talking to a woman. She's been playing it cool, keeping things light, surface-level conversation. But then something shifts. She mentions something personal. Maybe it's about her family, her fears, her dreams. Something she doesn't usually share with just anyone. This is the moment most guys screw it up. They either dismiss it, make a joke, try to relate it back to themselves. Or worse, they don't even notice it happened. But here's what she's actually doing. She's testing you. She's seeing if you're safe enough to be vulnerable with. When a woman opens up, even slightly, she's giving you access to a part of herself that most people never see. In that moment, her brain is making a decision. Can I trust this person with who I really am? And here's the kicker. If you respond with genuine attention, if you show her that you see her, not just what she's showing the world, but who she actually is underneath, that's when the emotional investment begins. You don't have to solve her problems. You don't have to give advice. You just have to show her that you're present, that you're listening, that you can handle the real her without judgment. But here's where it gets interesting. There's another moment that creates even deeper feelings. The moment you protect her without her asking for it. And I'm not talking about physical protection. I'm talking about emotional, social protection. Let me give you a scenario. You're out with a group of friends. Someone makes a comment that puts her down or makes her uncomfortable. Most guys either laugh along or stay silent because they don't want to rock the boat. But the moment you step in, the moment you shut it down or redirect the conversation or simply show that you're not okay with someone disrespecting her, something powerful happens in her mind. She realizes you're not just trying to get something from her. You're actually willing to risk social comfort to stand up for her, even when she didn't ask for it. That's when her brain starts categorizing you differently. You're no longer just another guy trying to impress her. You're someone who has her back. And that feeling of safety, of being protected, that's when emotional attachment begins to form. Women are constantly evaluating whether a man will be there when things get difficult. This moment shows her you will. And once she feels that security, the emotional walls start coming down. Here's something that might surprise you. One of the strongest triggers for feelings is when you respectfully challenge her. When you don't just agree with everything she says to win her approval. Most guys think the way to a woman's heart is through constant validation. Always saying yes, always agreeing. But that actually kills attraction because it shows you don't have a backbone. The moment she catches feelings often happens when you push back on something she says. Not in a disrespectful way, but in a way that shows you have your own mind, your own values, your own standards. Maybe she says something you disagree with. Instead of nodding along, you say, "Actually, I see it differently, and here's why." Or maybe she tests your boundaries and you stand firm. In that moment, she realizes you're not just another guy trying to win her over, you're a man with substance, someone who won't compromise himself just to please her. And that's incredibly attractive, because here's what happens in her mind. If you'll stand up to her, you'll stand up for her. If you have standards with her, you'll have standards with everyone else. And that makes you valuable. Now let's talk about something most guys underestimate. The power of making her laugh. But not just any laugh. I'm talking about that genuine, uncontrollable laughter that catches her off guard. There's a specific moment when she laughs at something you said, and she looks at you with surprise. Like she didn't expect you to be that funny, that clever, that quick. In that instant, her brain chemistry changes. Laughter releases endorphins, creates a positive association with you. But more than that, it shows her a side of you that's unguarded, spontaneous, real. Most guys try too hard to be funny. They force jokes or repeat things that worked before. But the moment that creates feelings is when your humor comes from authenticity. When it shows her how you see the world. When she laughs that real laugh, she's not just enjoying the moment. She's enjoying you. And that enjoyment becomes emotional investment. Here's one that's going to surprise you. Sometimes the moment she starts catching feelings is when you walk away. When you show her you're not desperate for her attention. Picture this. You're having a good conversation, things are going well, but then you have somewhere to be or something to do. Instead of canceling your plans to stay with her, you actually leave. Most guys think this is a mistake. They think they should always prioritize her, make her feel like the most important thing in their life. But that's exactly what kills attraction. The moment you show her you have a life, you have priorities, you have things going on that don't revolve around her, that's when she starts wondering what she's missing. When you walk away while things are good, while she's enjoying your company, her brain starts working overtime. What's he doing? Who's he with? When will I see him again? That curiosity, that wondering, that's the beginning of emotional investment. Because now she's thinking about you when you're not there. Listen, women are attracted to men who are going somewhere. There's a specific moment when she sees your drive, your ambition, your purpose, and everything changes. It's not about money. It's not about status. It's about seeing that you're a man with direction, someone who's building something, creating something, working towards something bigger than himself. Maybe you're talking about your goals, your projects, your vision for the future. She sees that fire in your eyes, that passion, that determination. In that moment, she realizes you're not just existing. You're not just floating through life. You're actively creating your future. And that's incredibly attractive. Because here's what happens. She starts imagining herself as part of that future. She starts seeing you as someone who could take her places. Not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Here's something most guys don't understand. The power of comfortable silence. Most men think they need to fill every moment with words. But there's a specific moment when silence becomes intimate. You're together. Maybe you're walking, maybe you're sitting somewhere. The conversation naturally fades, but instead of feeling awkward, it feels right. In that moment, she's not thinking about what to say next. She's just present with you. And that presence, that comfort with silence, that's when emotional connection deepens. Because comfortable silence means she doesn't feel the need to perform with you. She doesn't feel the pressure to be entertaining or impressive. She can just be. And when a woman feels like she can just be herself with you, that's when feelings start to grow. Here's a big one. The moment she sees you have self-control. That you're not driven by impulse or desperation. This is when respect turns into attraction. Maybe there's an opportunity to take things physical, but you don't rush. Maybe she's offering you something, but you don't jump at it immediately. In that moment, she realizes you're not like other guys. You're not driven by immediate gratification. You have discipline. You have standards. And here's why this creates feelings. When you show self-control, you demonstrate that you're choosing her, not just taking what's available. That choice, that selectivity, that makes her feel special, valuable, chosen. And those feelings create emotional investment. But here's the deepest trigger. The moment she feels truly understood. Not just heard, but understood. Maybe she's explaining something about herself, her life, her perspective. You respond in a way that shows you really get it. You understand not just what she's saying, but why she's saying it. In that moment, she realizes you see her in a way that most people don't. You understand her motivations, her feelings, her perspective. And here's the thing about understanding. It creates intimacy faster than anything else. Because it shows her you're paying attention, you're invested, you care enough to really listen. When she feels understood, she starts to trust you. And trust is the foundation of all deep feelings. There's another trigger that's incredibly powerful. The moment you share an experience that becomes yours. a memory that belongs to both of you. Maybe it's something unexpected, something that just happens when you're together. Could be anything. A random adventure, a moment of spontaneity, something you both laugh about later. In that moment, she realizes you're not just someone she talks to, you're someone she experiences life with. And shared experiences create emotional bonds. Because now when she thinks about that moment, she thinks about you. You're connected to a positive memory in her mind. Here's something that separates the men from the boys. The moment she sees that you have depth, that there's more to you than what's on the surface. Maybe you share something about your past, your beliefs, your philosophy, something that shows her you think deeply about life. In that moment, she realizes you're not just another surface-level guy. You're someone with substance, someone worth getting to know. And here's why this creates feelings. Depth creates curiosity. And curiosity creates emotional investment. She wants to know more about you. Women are always watching how men handle pressure, stress, difficult situations. There's a specific moment when she sees you handle something difficult with grace. Maybe it's a work situation. Maybe it's a personal challenge. Maybe it's just dealing with a difficult person. But she sees you stay calm, stay composed, handle it like a man. In that moment, she realizes you're someone she can rely on, someone who won't crumble when things get tough. And that reliability, that strength under pressure, that's when she starts seeing you as more than just fun to be around. She starts seeing you as someone she could build something with. Here's another one. The moment she realizes you're genuinely interested in her. Not just what she can give you, but who she actually is. Most guys show interest in a woman's looks, her body, what she can do for them. But the moment you show genuine interest in her thoughts, her dreams, her personality, that's when she starts feeling valued. Not just desired, but valued as a person. And here's the difference between being desired and being valued. Desire is about what you want from her. Value is about who she is. When she feels valued, that's when emotional attachment begins. There's a powerful moment when you do something that exceeds her expectations. Not in a grand gesture way, but in a thoughtful way. Maybe you remember something she mentioned weeks ago. Maybe you do something kind without expecting anything in return. In that moment, she realizes you're not just going through the motions, you're actually paying attention. You actually care. And that care, that thoughtfulness, that's what separates you from every other guy in her life. Here's something that might surprise you. Sometimes the moment she catches feelings is when you show your own vulnerability. Not weakness, but authentic humanity. Maybe you share something about yourself that you don't usually talk about. Maybe you admit to a fear or a struggle. In that moment, she realizes you trust her enough to be real with her. And that trust creates connection. Because here's the thing, vulnerability is not weakness. Vulnerability is strength. It shows you're secure enough to be human. But here's the foundation of it all. The moment she realizes you respect her, not just as a woman, but as a person, it's in how you listen to her, how you treat her opinions, how you respond to her boundaries. When she feels respected, she feels safe. And when she feels safe, she can allow herself to feel. Sometimes there's a moment when everything just clicks. When all these individual moments come together and she realizes she's developed real feelings for you. It's not always dramatic. It's not always obvious. Sometimes it's just a quiet realization that you've become important to her, that she looks forward to seeing you, that she thinks about you when you're not there, that she cares about what happens to you. So how do you know when these moments are happening? When she's starting to catch feelings? First, she starts investing more time in conversations with you. She asks more questions. She wants to know more about you. Second, she starts including you in her future plans, even small ones. She'll mention things she wants to do with you. Third, she starts showing you different sides of herself. She's not just presenting her best self. She's showing you her real self. Fourth, she starts caring about your opinion, what you think about her choices, her appearance, her decisions. Fifth, she starts initiating contact. She's not just responding to you, she's reaching out. Here's what's happening in her mind during these moments. Her brain is constantly evaluating. Is this person safe? Is this person valuable? Is this person worth emotional investment? Every interaction is a test. Every moment is an opportunity to prove that you're different from other guys. When you consistently show up as someone who's genuine, respectful, strong, and interesting, her brain starts categorizing you as valuable. And once you're categorized as valuable, emotional investment begins. Attraction can happen instantly, but feelings take time. Attraction is about what she sees. Feelings are about what she experiences. Attraction is surface level. Feelings are deep. Attraction can fade. Feelings create attachment. The moments I've described are the bridge between attraction and feelings. They're what transforms initial interest into emotional investment. Here's what kills these moments: trying too hard, being fake, being desperate for her approval. The moment you start performing for her instead of being authentic, you kill the natural development of feelings. Because here's the thing: feelings can't be forced. They can only be cultivated. They grow naturally when the right conditions are present. So how do you create these moments? How do you set up the conditions for feelings to develop? First, be authentic. Don't try to be someone you're not. Be the best version of yourself. Second, be present. When you're with her, be actually with her, not thinking about other things. Third, be consistent. Show up the same way every time. Don't be hot and cold. Fourth, be patient. Feelings take time. Don't rush the process. Fifth, be yourself. The right woman will catch feelings for who you actually are, not who you pretend to be. Here's what you need to understand. These moments happen naturally when you're being your authentic self. You don't need to manufacture them. You don't need to force them. You just need to be aware of them and handle them correctly when they occur. Because here's the thing about feelings. They're not a destination. They're a journey. Every interaction is an opportunity. Every moment is a chance to show her who you really are. When you consistently show up as a man of value, a man of substance, a man of character, those moments will happen naturally. So pay attention to these moments. Recognize them when they happen. And handle them with the respect they deserve. Because the exact moment she starts catching feelings, that's when everything changes. That's when you stop being just another guy and start being the guy she can't stop thinking about. Remember, attraction gets her attention, but feelings get her heart. And once you understand these moments, you'll never wonder again whether she's interested. You'll know exactly where you stand, because you'll be able to see it happening in real time. The exact moment she starts catching feelings for you.